You guys go check out our sponsors, Castro's Pool Service and Repair. If you guys need your pool maintenance, service, fixed, anything, check out Castro's Pool Service and Repair. The number is 209-675-5418. That's 209-675-5418. Support those that support us. This episode is called Consistency. It's been hard to do this podcast. When we first started, it was the pandemic, and there wasn't anything going on. I invited my friends, Gloria, Diego, Andy, the other tall Diego. We got Gabe, the camera guy. We got Gabe, the motivator. Like, I had all these people on that were we were all stuck in this situation. Like, it was a pandemic, right? And nothing to do. And I had this bright idea. Let's start a podcast. It was a good idea. I loved it. I fell in love with it. I fell in love with interviewing people, right? Talking to all these people, hearing where they were going and what they were doing and how they thought about life. Can't forget EJ. Can't forget Jose. Jose wasn't during the pandemic. Jose was like a little bit after. But how they thought about life and how they lived. And it was like a shock to me right when it happened. Like, when I started talking to all these people, it was a shock to me. It was like, oh, everybody's like kind of dealing with the same stuff and not really understanding why I wouldn't want to say not understanding why they're here, like not really understanding how to get to where they want to get to, right? They know how to work, they know how to do all this stuff, but no one knows the future. And it was an eye opener for me, because it showed me like anything's possible. When I first started this podcast, I was no backbone. I had very, very bad insecure problems. Like, I was super insecure. Still am. There's so many times I come home and I ask my wife, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, am I doing wrong? Like, am I a bad guy? Am I like, there's so many insecurities about myself. But it was 10 times worse before I started the podcast. And it built my backbone and built my securities. It took away my insecurities somewhat. It showed me that, like, I wouldn't say that I was dumb. I would say that I didn't know how to learn, and it showed me that laziness, the only reason why you're incompetent or dumb is because you're lazy. Right? If you do the work, you'll get smarter. All right? And these things it showed me. And you know what happened? Is that I got a boost. It's like, what are you doing? Like, do something. You know, and I thought this podcast was it. I thought this podcast was like, man, this is what you're doing. This is your gift to the world. Like, I was something, right? Like, my ego was like, oh, this is your gift to the world. You're gonna do great things with this, right? And it is. Don't get me wrong, it is doing great things, right? The people I met, every person that I named when I interviewed during the pandemic, I'm friends with them. Not only am I friends with them, they've opened doors for me, right? All of them giving me insight to life. And those doors, I took those doors. I went through those doors. And my life right now, it's so insane. It's insane to me to look back and think like, oh, Jesse, you just wanted to fight. Like, you wanted to fight, and like one day you You got out of your FedEx truck. You're like, I'm fucking done with this place. And you said, I'm going to fucking fight. And again, my ego's in the way. It's like, I'm going to be the best. Right? My ego gets in the way and like, I'm going to be the best. And I'm going to be this fighter. I'm going to be a professional fighter. I'm going to do this. Right? And life doesn't work like that. Right? Our creator, God, he doesn't work like that. Most of the time, what you think is going to happen is merely it's a stepping stone to what you're really meant to do. Right? And everything I've done has led me to these different doors. Shit, my last fight, with Compton, right? Like, I thought that was like the end all be. Like, I thought that was the end. Like, oh man, I'm done. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, I fought this guy. I realized I'm not a fighter, and what am I gonna do? Well, that opened the door. He has his own fight promotion. I end up getting to do a little bit of video and stuff, and social media stuff, and have fun in that way. That's a door, right? And it was fun. I did it this last weekend in Santa Cruz, and I get a kick out of that. And everything I do, a lot of it's failure. A lot of it is failure. Like, now I'm diving into getting a little bit more serious. Well, I wouldn't say a little bit. Getting more serious about being an entrepreneur. And trying to live that lifestyle. All in. Man, I'm probably going to fail. I'm probably going to lose a lot of money. But I know everything I fail at, everything I do, it opens other doors. It opens other avenues. It opens friends, people, experiences. And it's fun. It's really, really has taken, like, okay. It's like we haven't been podcasting, haven't been interviewing people, which I love to do, but hey, I need to make money, right? And I can't explain it. Like, I don't even know if it's about making money, because I could push and I could work and get money from the podcast, right? But I think it's bigger than that. I think, well, I left the gym, right? I quit the gym, and look, I quit the gym not thinking like, okay, I'm on to bigger and better things, right? Like, that's not, like, me quitting the gym, that wasn't what was happening. I wasn't saying, oh, I'm on to bigger and better things and I have it figured out. I know what I'm going to do. There was exactly no game plan. No game plan. For about 2 weeks, I told my wife, what am I going to do? And the answer was I was ready to go back to FedEx. All right? Like, I need to get a job. There was no game plan. It was just, I had to leave for reasons for myself, and you know, I just had to grind. It was a different kind of desperation. It wasn't a chaotic desperation. It wasn't a desperation where I'm willing to do anything, right? Like, yes, I mean, I'm willing to do it. It was a desperation where I need to put food on the table for my family, right? And I still work like that. I don't know if I'm doing good. I don't know if I'm doing bad. But I know I'm going to bring food on the table. I know I'm going to put food on the table for my family, whatever it is, right? If all else fails, like, I'll do it. I'll do whatever I need to do. I will pick fields. I will work at a fast food joint. I will do whatever. I will work the corner if it means that I need to put food on the table for my family. It's just always been like that. Since I've been with my wife, it's like, we need to pay this. Like, there's been times like, fuck, dude, I sold my truck. I sold my grandpa's truck so I could pay off. We were like, I was like 20. It was like 9 years ago. We needed to pay something, so I was like, fuck it. Let's pay our grandpa's truck. There was many times where even if I'm being honest, when I left the gym, there was a moment where I had, like, cans were the option, where I had to take cans to go get cash. There's been that was a low for me. That was a low. And I hated it. I hated it because I'm a grown ass man and I'm relying on taking cans so I could put money in my wife's hand. And I fucking, like, I haven't even told anybody that, and I'm over here sharing it on a fucking podcast. And that was a low for me, a recent low. Shit, that was December. And I don't know, like, now, like, fuck, dude, like, because of that, I work from the moment I wake up till all the way through the night, non-fucking stop, right? And it's with the social media stuff, it's with the podcast stuff, the other people's podcast stuff, and I only surround myself with people that are willing to put in the fucking work, right? That is positive and willing to put in the work. Because yes, I will do anything. Yes, I will do anything if need be. I will do anything if need be. I will be the provider. I will do whatever it takes. But I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to taking cans to go get money. Right? Like, I came from a neighborhood where it was paycheck to paycheck and you would see families struggle. I didn't understand it when I lived in that neighborhood, but now I understand it. I understand that how many people were struggling. Right? Like, I just had a conversation, like, with the buddy who grew up pretty good. And and we were talking about just our mentalities in life now. And there's certain things that I do that, because of where I grew up, it's just in me. Like, like, when you're growing up and you see people do whatever it takes to put money on put food on the table for your family. Like, I'm not talking about, like, oh, you're not going to be able to get this Christmas present, or you're not going to be able to get, like, these things. No, I'm talking about where the one goal is to keep the house going, right? To keep food on the table. Because if this person doesn't work or that person doesn't work, then there's no food on the table. Right? And it's, I don't know, like, it's because I really shut down. I was, because of that, right? Because of that mentality, I need to always work. I have no time for friends. I have no time for family. Right? Like, not right now. And I might regret it when I'm older, right? Like, But I will regret even more if my daughter grows up and knows that I didn't do everything I could to give her a different life and show her a different life and show her an example of somebody who really is living life, right? Because when I was working FedEx, I wasn't living life. You know, and it's I do it mostly for her. I really do. I don't know how I'm going to pay her college. Like she's getting all A's. She's going doing really good in school. Like I keep on saying like I'm going to fucking do it. Like in the back of my head is like I'm going to fucking do it. Oh, I got this. She's going to go to a good school. San Diego State, here we come, or Texas, here we come, and I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm going to do it. But then when I really sit back and think about it, I was like, how the fuck are you going to do that, dude? Like you could barely afford new shoes. Right? Like, but for some reason, I know I'm gonna do it. Like, my goal's not money. My goal's not a bigger house, or my goal's not another house. My goal's not. My goal is not for me. Like, my number one goal is to provide her with a life that is going to break a lot of family fucking chains, a lot of handcuffs that provided by past family. Because that's super hard to do. Generation after generation after generation. Just look at you. Just look at your family, right? If you think it's hard to like get up on life, right? Like if you think it's hard to succeed and become what you want in life and what you want to do, or if you're trying to get your kid to school or do better for yourself, like look at the generation after generation after generation of no education, of no entrepreneurship. It's just like a full-time job, or even drug addict, or just living in the same poverty neighborhood over and over and over again. It is very like I'm learning it's fucking hard to not be successful and be rich, but to be better than what your past generation did. Right? And I look at some of my friends that have done it. I look at some of my families that have done it. And it's like, fuck yeah. I'm not talking about like, I'm talking about you're the trendsetter. You're the one that changed it. Those are the people I look up to. It's like, fuck, dude, that's fucking awesome. Like, how did you do it? You know, and you changed it. And then I think back to my grandpa, right? I think back to my mom's dad. Boxer, came from Mexico, cement mason, hard worker. And I think like how his mindset had to been like, I don't know. I was 10 when he died, right? No, I was 5. I was 5 years old when he died. His mindset had to be like, I want to do better for my kids, right? And then they do better, and then the next generation does better. But it's so hard to like push forward. Sometimes I just want to say fuck it. Like sometimes I just want to say fuck it. I'll just get a normal job, get a job that fucking I don't have to worry about anything. Right? But I don't think that's what I'm meant for. I think that I want to push forward. Eva's not my blood, but I do want to give something to my life, give it to somebody so they could push forward. Right? Fuck, dude. It's hard. It's hard. Because so when I do wake up, it's nonstop work, right? I'm figuring out how I'm going to make money. I'm figuring out, really, I'm trying to do something that it's new, it's different, it's social media is new, like to actually have like a small business. Like, yes, there's like, not even I guess just in a small town, right? And it's not necessarily like I could see a bunch of people making money from it, right? There's a bunch of restaurants in town. People are making money from that, but like there's like what I'm doing is different, and there's not that many people in town doing it, right? If any, right? Like, is anybody else in Los Baños going out to a fight promotion and doing social media? I don't think so. So I don't know anything about business. I don't know anything about financing. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, and then but then like, I'm like, I don't know anything about that. And then in my head, I'm like, oh, but I could do it. What in the fuck, dude? It really comes down to martial arts. It's like, how do I get better at fucking martial arts? Just consistently doing it every fucking day. Right? Still love it. Still doing the jiu-jitsu. Right? And and it's just, I hate that I know that I'm going to, these next few years, it's going to be lonely. Right? Because of how hard I had to work, what I have to do. There's no time for any, like, it's almost like fighting, right? Like, if you ever fought before, like, like, there's no going out, there's no talking to friends, there's like, you hardly see your family, right? Like, it just, I know how hard I have to work, and I have to prepare my mind to tell myself, like, hey, you're gonna give up a lot if you go after this, right? And I think I have already. I'm emotionally, I've become numb, right? Like, the only thing I really get emotional about is when my daughter does something good, right? Or something happens, or she does something excellent. Like, it's the only thing I get emotional about. But it's everything else. It's like, I'm just a zombie, a robot, right? Like, autopilot throughout the day, because I know what I need to get done and just do it. And like, there's like people talking to me, or my wife's talking to me, or my friends are talking to me, and I'm like, fuck, did I get 50% of that fucking conversation? Because I'm over here thinking about what I have to do, or I thought of an idea that I could do this and do that and get better at this. Like, and I know it's bad, right? But I know that I know at this stage in my life, like, I might burn a lot of bridges because of what I'm doing. not caring, if I'm being honest. Like I'm sad that I am, but I know that me doing everything, I know that my daughter's going to be happy. I know who she's going to have, what she's going to have to come home to, right? I didn't grow up with I grew up with a mother that told me that I can do anything. Right? I grew up with a mother that told me I could do anything. Anything that I put my head to. Down like what I put my head to. Right? She inspired me to do a lot of things. Right? She didn't let the teachers hold me back or put me in, and she didn't let the teachers show me that I was more inferior to anybody. Right? She showed me I'm like the rest. Probably should have been in those classes. Fuck, I like I'll spout something and I'll look at it for like 30 minutes and I'll constantly look at it. I'll look at it, and I think I have spelled it right. I'll read it, and then like 30 minutes later, I'm like, oh, so we're back. Sorry it died, but yeah. With all that said, I'm happy where I'm at in life. I know I gotta work, and it's not all bad. Like things are getting better. Like it's getting better, but kind of scary, kind of unknown, kind of what are we doing? It's like I'm better than who I was a year ago, 2 years ago. It's scary. It's scary of where we're going. And my wife, she says I'm super positive, but like she's the one that is super positive. She's the one that like I tell her like, what are we doing? Like she's like, we got this. Or and I love her to death. You know, and we joke around, we make fun of each other, or she makes fun of me, but I really do love her. And I'm fucking grateful for that, because a lot of people don't find that. A lot of people don't find like true love or true marriage. Like love is bullshit, right? Love is that feeling that you get and in the beginning where it's like, oh, I love you, but man, marriage, like being married, that's fucking work, dude. Like it's work. We figure each other out something different every week. We figure each other out what our flaws are, what's good about us every week. It's a challenge. But I love her. After we say like love is bullshit, but I love her. I want to be with her for the rest of my life, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful I found somebody like that. And it's funny because you say that, and most immature men will make fun of you for that. It's like, oh, you're whooped. It's like, nah, man. I've been married 10 years and I know I got a strong woman. That's not whoop. That's just, I'm grateful. Right? And if I make it to 20, 30 years, fuck, dude. Yeah, it's fucking hard. Yeah, there's times when I don't even want to be at the house because we're just not getting along, but that's my soulmate, man. Love her. But I'm going to try to be more consistent. Me doing this late at night and then about to put it out, like I'm trying to be more consistent with this podcast, right? I'm doing EJ's podcast, Jose's podcast, and doing social media for different businesses, different people, and it's fun. I stay consistent with that, but like I totally forgot about this. You know, being honest, like it just started going down and down and down. Whoever's still listening, thank you. I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. Thank you for listening. And if you guys are new, like I started this podcast because I wanted to talk to people that dream, that wanted to do something better with their lives, and doing something different. And I'm going to keep it that way. I want to find people like that. I want to interview them. I want to talk to them. Because I think I have a different outlook from the first day I started this, right? Before, I used to think that anybody could do it. I don't think anybody could do it anymore. I don't think it's anybody. I think it's people that really, really want to work. You got to work your fucking ass off, dude. Like, really have that work ethic where you're just, that you're willing to do what you need to do, and expect failure, expect that there's going to be a lot of learning, right? And it's not a fucking competition. My wife gets mad at me because, like, why are you comparing yourself to that? Why are you doing this? And it's because you make it a competition. Life's not a competition. Life is not a fucking competition. Life is a journey. Life's a fucking journey. It's crazy to think, like, I do it. I fucking do it. It's crazy to think that I compare myself to other people. It's crazy to see people doing better than me, and it's like, I'm like, why can't I have that? Why are they doing so good? Then I have to check myself. What the fuck are you doing? What is wrong with you? They have what they have because it's their life. It's their journey. It has nothing to do with you. Nothing. And if you do good, it has nothing to do with them. This whole life thing, it's a trip, man. It's a trip. And I love it. I love where I'm at. I love what I've done. When I think I'm grateful for things, I'm grateful, like, for the life I've lived so far. Ever since my mom passed away, things have just been getting better and better. There's been little hiccups, but like, better and better. Like, the life that God gave me after my mom passed away, the life that I have now, it's a blessing. I bought a house when I was 28. I have a wonderful family. I got to go after my dream of fighting, do something that a lot of people don't do. Right? And I got to fight a pro. When I think about it, I got to fight a pro. And now I started a podcast in my living room. I get to be who I want to be. Like, this is who I want to be. Like, this is who I am. This is who I've always wanted to be. Someone creative, someone doing what they want, not letting anybody tell them what to do. This is me. I'm secure with that now, and I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for the future. I'm never going to stop looking back and thinking about the times when I had nothing. And tomorrow I'm going to feel like, man, everything can go away and I have nothing again. Like, I do have a fear of everything going away. But you know what? We're on a good path. We're on a good path. We just got to continue to want to get better. I love you guys. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you to Diego Adaptive Sessions. When that guy's always been like cool. He's always like been there, right? Like, and then Diego, tall Diego, thank you. Always been there. When I felt like my life was chaotic, those two guys were there. GT, Gloria, thank you. I appreciate you like 100%. Like, you've been your whole family, thank you. You guys don't even know. There's times when I went into Gloria's and to Gloria's, and I was sad. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know, but I just was there, and you guys, just me saying hi. Yes, I'm all goofy and stuff. It doesn't mean that I'm not feeling anything. Like I was in a down mode, and you guys made it better. EJ, for believing in me for the podcast. Thank you. And just being a friend. I've leaned on that guy's shoulder. I've like come to him with stuff, and he's been there, right? Thank you. Coach Jose, when I left the gym, he didn't have to stop talking to me. And he didn't have to keep on talking to me, right? I left the gym, it wasn't working there, but one of the things, he's like, you're one of my closest friends. Like, and then he doesn't care. He just like, I don't care why you left, just, and I thank him. He doesn't give a fuck. He just it's like unconditional, right? Friendship, right? And that's what I'm looking for. Thank you. And then my wife, thank you. And and then Compton for fucking hiring me to do his promotion. Thank you. Like, that shit was fun. Right? And it's just Alan for me working out, going over there telling me to go work out. Thank you. There's so many people I was blessed with. There's all these people. I'm over here talking about, like, this is like a moment of clarity, right? A moment of where I'm over here thinking like I'm going to be alone. But then look at all these people that God placed in my life. It's beautiful. I love you guys. You guys have a great day. Have a great rest of your week. Every Wednesday we'll drop episodes, guys. I love y'all. Have a great day. Peace. This is the Hassle of Hair, and I'm Jesse the Hassle Diaz. Peace.